All right, welcome back to ABC 13 Weather Now. Houston Chronicle meteorologist Justin Ballard joins us again on a Monday, this time to talk about snow in Texas, something we're not all that used to seeing around here in Southeast Texas. Thanks for being with us again, Justin.
Thanks for having me. It probably comes as no surprise. The snow that we're talking about mainly occurs in the northern half.
Well, Texas is kind of a big state.
It is.
Right? Both east, west, north, south.
And we're proud of that.
We are, exactly. Snow in Texas. Obviously, it doesn't snow here often. But when it does snow, we're looking at one spot in particular that gets a lot of snow usually every year.
Yeah, it's a real head scratcher, I know. But the northern Panhandle specifically is what we're talking about in terms of seeing that most snow. And in fact, last week was kind of the first snows of the season. It started earlier in the week, and then later in the week it kind of ramped up. You can see some of that snow. If you look closely, you see that white that just doesn't look like it's really moving that much on visible satellite. This is snowpack.
That's a lot of snow.
Far northwest corner, the very tippy top of the state, is a little bit of snow left there. Obviously, the most snow still remains over Colorado and northern New Mexico.
Now, how much snow on average in a typical season would you expect to see up in the Panhandle?
Believe it or not, a foot or more
in
parts of the northern Panhandle. Places like Amarillo, Dalhart, which was hit just earlier last week with some snow, and you see where we're looking at snow over. This is the snow depth, of course. A lot of that has melted over the course of the last couple of days, but still looking at 3-6 inches of snow there in the higher elevations of Colorado and New Mexico.
What's fascinating is you don't see much else snow on the ground anywhere in the country right now.
Yeah, I mean, even in Canada, a place that is more prone to snow than anywhere else really in the lower 48, you still don't see a lot of that, and you're not seeing a whole lot of that over the next 7-10 days or so.
Yeah.
Colorado, New Mexico.
More mountain snow.
More mountain snow expected over the next week and a half.
Wow, incredible. Now, typically when we get snow here, the earliest we've ever had it is the first week of December. So usually we have to wait till December. But some of our heaviest snows have actually occurred in the month of February. And the big winter storm in 2021 was no different.
And that occurred in a La Niña winter. I know we've talked a lot about La Niña and how it could affect winter, but some of the snowiest winters that we've had, and I use that term relatively loosely, happens in late January or early February or even the middle of February, and you see the footage there from the Great Freeze of 2021, where snow and sleet and probably freezing rain fell as well, depending on where exactly you were in the state.
Yeah, if only the grid had held,
Right.
Because snow is so rare around here. It's usually a magical experience for people.
Really enjoyable.
That aren't used to it. Yeah, it's hard to enjoy it when you can't keep warm. Yeah. So every time I go out and speak in public, as winter time is approaching, especially if I speak at a school, one of the first questions the kids ask is it going to snow this winter? What's the outlook?
Love that question. And for us, as it typically is every year, not great.
Yeah, there's always a chance.
Always a chance, always a non-zero chance.
You're saying there's a chance.
But there is a pattern, kind of taking shape, La Niña, that does favor above normal temperatures. That's what we're looking at right now. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that we'll have temperatures far above normal, but generally speaking, a 50 to 70% chance of above normal means it's going to be a pretty warm summer, not summer.
Yeah, well, please don't tell me we're having summer this winter.
Warm winter as well. Now, I did speak with the state climatologist a few weeks ago. I know we talked about this, and he said that our coldest cold outbreaks do tend to happen more often during La Niña. So, so below normal temperatures or below normal precipitation, I should say, across the southern tier. So, yes, warmer temperatures are expected overall, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to see, a completely mild winter. There will be some cold air from time to time.
And to your point about what Dr. John Nielsen Gammon said, what typically happens in La Niña years is that cold air gets bottled up around the Arctic Circle, and occasionally, because it gets really cold, occasionally it can break down, and if it breaks down, then you're in the game for a little bit of snow.
Exactly. So we'll be keeping an eye on that pattern, of course. It's hard to predict this far out whether or not that will happen this year, but every season could be a possibility.
And whenever that does happen, it's funny because all people remember is it snowed that winter. Yep. That was a really cold winter, right? When you average it out, usually it's
9 times out of 10
above average, right?
Exactly, during La Niña winter.
Okay, so if someone wanted to dig a little bit deeper into the details of snow climatology in Texas, what's the name of the article and where do they find it?
It's on the Houston Chronicle's website. I think it went live on Saturday, so it's a couple of days old at this point, but you see where it is. Who in Texas can expect their first snow of the season?
All right, Justin Ballard, thanks again for joining us on this Monday.